you need to move the fuck on. Get rid of everything you have associating to this girl.
I think men are way more insecure than women.
Another huge, big misconception that guys come and ask me a lot is, bro, like, you actually sleep with all these girls? No.
Why are so many relationships splitting up right now?
Women strip naked.
No, I don't swing that way, bro. Diego, who do you want to fight?
You've heard of...
You've seen how the Blue Tick Show has been put on the map, the world's fastest growing show. Let's put your brand on the map. The Blue Tick Show is now doing over 1 million views a month. Your business could be seen by an extra 1 million people every single month. Get in touch now to advertise your business. info@thebluetickshow.com. If you're looking for brand awareness, message us now. Let's do something together. Limited space available, so get in touch as soon as possible. Be in touch. One of the team will get back to you. Let's see how quickly we can get your brand to #1. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Blue Tick Show. Opposite me today, we've got the one and only Diego Day. Welcome back for part 2, my brother. How are you?
Happy to be here, man. Yeah, we had to run it back.
We had to run it back. A lot of people asked for you back, and I thought, you know what, last time, bro, we spoke a lot about your life, what you've done, all your achievements with women, X, Y, Z. But you know what we didn't really touch on? Well, what's going on with everyone at the minute? Like, what's going on with the men? What's going on with women? What's going on with all the relationships? Thought we'd call the expert on.
It's a touchy subject because it's very easy to sit here and say almost the obvious red pill opinions about how fucked society is. And I had a lot of conversations with people recently like, oh, you know, I'm going through this shit. And I tell them, I walk around on a day-to-day basis going through shit, having to like watch society fall and fail in the way it is. But, you know, this is real life. We can't forget there are very emotionally unstable people dealing with this stuff. So I've decided to become an educator instead of a
teacher,
instead of a shouter, because I think it's really important that everyone can hear the message, to have the opportunity to change their life and to actually take action on their life.
But as much as we say all of that, we can all say it, but you're trying to teach people this now?
Yeah, I mean, you know, and most people know by now, obviously, just like every influencer that has a big following, we have a community. The difference is our community is absolutely fucking amazing, and more than anything, it doesn't just teach words and videos. It's a place where you can take action like on your life and take accountability. But more than anything, I would tell people out there to just listen to the messages and consume the right information and use it to be proactive within your lives, as opposed to just watching and scrolling and then sleeping and doing nothing about it and waking up tomorrow, you know, hoping all your life problems leave, you know, self mobily.
Because you taught yourself all of it. You trained yourself, or did you? Was there someone you looked up to when you was younger? When you was younger, you was at school. Every guy struggles to first talk to girls. No one wakes up, or some kids do. Some guys blown amounts of confidence. They're just out there talking to girls and they're just happy doing it. Some people don't. Some people struggle. What was you like as a kid? Could you go out and talk to loads of girls?
So I tell you what the difference is between now and last. When was last time? Nearly over a year ago, probably, no? Or maybe about
bro.
More recent.
Yeah, I'd say
wow,
about 6 months.
I missed you that much.
I'd say it was about 6 months ago.
Okay, so 6 months ago. I'd say the biggest thing that's changed for me since then is the psychological knowledge I've actually investigated throughout the science of approaching girls and of confidence, and as I say, all the psychology behind it. There's so much that goes into just taking 3 steps towards a female that we couldn't even fathom, and a lot of it is our brain just fighting itself, as it always does in many different situations, and you can almost relate loads of different situations to the actual art of approaching a girl. But a lot of the problem guys have is their brains are so untrained and inexperienced that they don't know how to take real control of their thoughts and their mind process to do these things. I mean, I wouldn't say I had a teacher as such, like someone who taught me how to speak to girls. I'd say I learned a lot off my parents in terms of characteristics. And that, bro, let's think about it logically. For people like you and I, who naturally can talk to girls, it's not about learning how to talk to girls. It's about learning how to communicate.
Definitely. And
that you get from the life skills of, you know, confidence, of self-character building, of being in good shape, of being healthy, of understanding the importance of value and respect, etc., etc., etc. But for a lot of people now, where they lack all them things, you actually need to break down the psychology of talking to a girl, of self-confidence, of how to build your self-confidence. And that's what I'm doing. I've definitely self-taught the art of approaching girls and the art of speaking to girls and the art of getting what you want from a situation. And I guess all them years I've sacrificed to do that is now available for
Because at the end
$49.99.
At the end of the day, it's all experience, right?
Yeah.
The more you talk to girls, the more you work out, does this work, does that work? But obviously, like you're saying, there's a lot more to it. A man can have some issues, a woman can have some issues. She might be unapproachable completely. How do you judge that before you go up to them? How do you know which girls to approach, which girls not to approach?
So, to delve into more of the brain psychology that I was talking about before, what you said is everything wrong with what guys are doing, because if you allow yourself an option of which one's the right one to do, which one's the wrong one to do, it will always be the wrong one to do.
Fair enough.
We're in an age where fight and flight mode is it's a lose-lose, because we don't have the balls to deal with them situations. So as soon as you go to yourself, is that the right girl? Is it the right time? Is it the right place? Is it the right circumstance? You will not approach us. As soon as you start asking yourself them questions, you will stop having the intentions to go and talk to her, and your brain will find a way to make an excuse not to do something. Because what a lot of people don't understand is our brain's biggest desire, the biggest desire to our brain or for our brain, is to be comfortable. It desires comfort, it desires peace, it desires tranquility, and anything that you're not good at, anything that's not guaranteed success, guaranteed validation, is going to allow your brain to feel uncomfortable, and therefore you won't want to do it. Remember, the same thing that wants to be comfortable is the same thing that ultimately decides what we're going to do. So if your brain is going, I don't want to go and talk to that girl because I don't know if she's going to reject me or not, and I'm not okay with rejection, then you're going to find a way, or it's going to find a way to tell you not to do it. Or she's with her mum, or she's on the phone, she's on a street corner, she might say no to me, blah, blah, blah. There is no place and time, unless she's probably with her boyfriend.
Even that.
You're keeping that in. There is no real place and time where, you can't go and say hi to someone, as long as you're respectful and make them feel comfortable, which is half of the art.
So, bro, a lot of guys are scared to even approach a woman. You've learned it. You've mastered it. What is the tips behind that fear factor? Guys sit there and you see them. I've spoken to my boys, like, bro, go approach her. And they literally sit there in fear. You look at their face like, no, I can't do it. How do you get past that barrier? How do you overcome it?
It got to a point where it was very inhumane for me to comprehend. And then as I said to you, I actually went and analyzed it more, because you have a situation where, quite like you, I'm with my guys and they're like, yo, she's so beautiful. And I'm like,
Do you think?
Right? It's like, she's so beautiful. Okay, so go and talk to her. And they're like, no, like, don't be stupid. Why would I go and talk to her? Why would I go and talk to a girl I find attractive and I'd love to go on a date with? Madness. It's like the logic, right? And as a man, I think of everything we should want to do with the right intention and the right moral compass is take action on whatever we want. Like, as a man, that's the complete and utter way to freedom and success. It starts internally, and this is what a lot of people don't realize. Because it's an external action, because it's you actually doing something externally, you are walking externally on external ground and going to speak to another person in an external environment, people forget and ignore and are blind to the internal importance of doing that, which is building that confidence. And I tell you this not knowing like the story of your life, but a lot of guys, depending on their environment, just have that natural confidence, they have that natural charm. And I had it as a younger kid. I didn't understand it, but I had it.
The gift of the gab.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily the gift of the gab if you don't understand it, because it can be used in ulterior ways than it's supposed to. But what you then find is with people that don't have it, they don't reach out to try and get it. So, the biggest thing is when you're actually scared to approach a girl, you need to ask yourself, why is your brain telling you that? Why is your brain allowing yourself to be scared? Where does that come from? Where does that trauma come from? Where does the fear of rejection come from? Why am I so scared to be told no? And 99% of the answers to them questions are, you need to get in the gym.
Yeah.
You need to train your mind. You need to deal with your emotions. You need to learn how to master the art of self-development. You need to improve everything around you. You need to improve your friendship group, your physical and health or physical and interior body. You need to improve the environment around you. You need to improve the relationships with your family. You need to improve your purpose, your compass. You need to improve what's the clarity in your life, and all of this is done for yourself. But it's crazy.
I've said it. Yeah, I've said it so many times. Forget about looking good in the gym. It's about feeling good. There's so many people that go to the gym. Like, I've walked into my gym, and just a story off topic now. There's a guy in there who, at best, he's like a 5 out of 10. Yeah, he's like just a normal guy. I don't think he cares though. His girl is a 12. Like a complete 12. But he's just mastered chatting to her. If you meet him, his personality is fire.
Right, so the way you just
Funny,
described
jokes, everything.
the way you just described it, it's not actually his personality is fire. What you mean is his energy is fire.
Yeah.
Right, and this is what I tell so many people. Your energy is such a big manipulator of the person you are, which you can use to your advantage. We're naturally very manipulative in life as humans, very, very naturally. It has so many bad connotations to it, but the truth of the matter is we manipulate everyone in the day-to-day life. Yeah. If I want something of an old lady, I'm going to speak in a really posh accent to try and make her feel like I can relate to her, or I'm a sweet boy. And if I want to bag a girl from the hood, I'm probably going to speak a bit more, even the way you leverage your voice. Definitely. Yeah, we're naturally very manipulative to get what we want because we're selfish in our nature. And to relate that to a guy with great energy, that can portray so much. Having a good energy, just alone, having a good energy can portray confidence, can portray discipline, can portray self-respect, self-value. Because if your energy is good, immediately a girl's thinking, this guy has his life together, which means he's probably confident, which means probably fairly wealthy, or he understands himself as a human being, as a man. He's not insecure. I don't have to worry about problems. And what's the one thing that girls want off a guy more than anything? Security and comfort. So if you're insecure, if you're providing problems, which is like, if you're scared to approach a girl, that means you have insecurities or you have internal problems in your own life, and girls don't want to be a part of that because they have enough problems. Girls are one huge walking problem.
Definitely.
They don't want more off of you. So that's where you need to be insanely intelligent in the way where you provide and portray yourself as a secure and confident man. That's so attractive for
Diego,
them.
you've got all the viewers watching right now, and they're asking one question. Diego, how do I change my energy? You can tell them all. You can say fix your energy, but how do they do it? How do these people have that kind of energy, what we're talking about?
I've wanted to say, it's so funny. You've just given me a great opportunity to say something that I've really wanted to say. Strip naked.
Yeah. I don't swing that way, bro. That's a clip right there.
Clip it. Strip butt naked in a private space. Look in the mirror for a minimum of 2 minutes and just look. And don't let yourself be distracted by anything else. Just actually comprehend, 1, your physical state, and 2, when you start recognizing your physical state, you'll start tapping into your mental state. And then in that 2 minutes, 2 minutes is a long time when you've got nothing to do, when you've got no phone, you've got nothing else to rely your attention on. In that 2 minutes, you'll start to delve down into every single thing wrong with your life and where you need to improve it. And not enough people, because of the access of, we have to technology and filters and social media and all the facade we can create. Not enough people actually look at themselves completely butt naked. Girls will spend their whole day looking at themselves with their filter on their phone. Guys will spend their whole day looking at their Instagram, which is a complete lie because... Yeah. The 5 pictures they posted are the only 5 bits of their life where they've had money next to them, where they've had a smile on their faces, and then people are going straight back to their lives. So be naked in your eyes. See yourself naked. See yourself as you are. And then you can start to be honest with yourself. And once you're honest with yourself, you have a decision. Because once you're honest with yourself, even men like you and I, who are developed men, will have problems, right? If we looked at ourselves naked, we'd have problems. 100%. Then you have a decision. Do I want to ignore this problem? Or do I want to accept this problem as a failure? Or do I want to understand the failure and then take action on this problem to find a solution for it? And the people that are proactive to find solutions on all of their problems, which there always are solutions, they are the most successful people in this world.
So you're saying someone, if they want to sort their energy out and fix it, it all comes from within?
Every single centimeter of it. Every single centimeter. You need to look at yourself and ask what the problem is and see how you are going to fix it.
And now to talk about guys that are already confident. There's a lot of guys out there who think they're confident, but they're not. If you know what kind of guys I'm talking about, there's a lot of guys who say to their boys, like, he's the one guy who's got 3% more confidence than the other. And he thinks he's a Jack the lad, I can do it all.
Yeah, when he's drunk a bit of alcohol.
Definitely. A lot of guys, and you know what it is? It is, I'll be honest, yeah, talking about this since we're diving into it a little bit. I think men are way more insecure than women. I think we're at a position now where guys are so scared of rejection, so scared of actually talking to a girl, being rejected, being cheated on. Like, if you ask a guy, what's your biggest, they're like, oh, if my missus cheats on me, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Why are you giving her a reason to cheat? And I think that's a conversation we need to touch on as well, because there's so many guys who fear everything to do with their woman. Even if a guy likes her picture on it, Jeremy DMs I've had from guys, why you like my missus picture? Bro, it's Instagram. Am I not meant to tell her to delete it? But how do you think? What do you think's wrong with this generation? Because I think we're in a really bad state at the minute.
Everything you just said is wrong with this generation. I actually can't relate. I've never had a guy text me saying, don't like my girl's Instagram.
Or I've had their boyfriend follow me. I've liked a picture and he's followed me. And I'm like, I see a little bit of it's clearly she's chatting about me. But it's
man sees it as an opportunity. Crazy.
No, but there's big problems in our society right now. This video is sponsored by Cranbrook Law, an award-winning immigration law firm. Their talented solicitors can help when any struggles arise regarding immigration law. They can help get you the visas they need. They can help get you the staff you need from any other countries. As you can see, the website is on the screen right now. So if you need anything to do with immigration law, message Cranbrook Law and let them help you. Whether you're looking to obtain a sponsor license, receive advice and guidance in relation to compliance and our civil penalties, or take advantage of our know-how and experience across a broad range of business visas, our talented and dynamic immigration lawyers are available to speak to you. Telephone numbers on the screen, emails on the screen, and hit the link in the bio if you need any help.
No, everything you just said portrays a huge problem, and that problem is guys will look for anyone else to blame for their internal lack of respect and value, whether that be you, who they don't even know, or whether that be something close or someone close to them. If you just pay attention on a day-to-day basis and look around you and see the amount of people that own their shit, I'm telling you right now I've said that, you're going to start picking up on it in the week to come, and you'll be like, no one takes responsibility for anything, right? You drop some plate, right? Oh, who didn't wash up the plate properly and left fairy liquid on it? Or why didn't you predict that? Wash it properly, dry it again, and everything is in our control. Everything we can be responsible for if we want to be, you know? If someone's late, what's the first thing they say?
Oh, so it's traffic. It's
okay.
like what you said today.
Is Waze not the best fucking app in the world that tells you exactly how long it's going to take, exactly how much traffic there is, so you can look at that 2 hours before, yeah?
And know the best time to leave. It even predicts the time.
100%.
Everything.
When's the last time someone said to you, sorry, I was late, I was unorganized, I was unprepared? Never. But that's always the case. Because guess what? There's always traffic and there's always road problems, right? And the truth of it is that tiny example represents the mass proportion of society where people go, even though this wasn't directly my fault, right? Even if I was not in full control of something, instead of blaming something that was in more control, how can next time I be more in control? And I'll give you a great example, right? I do it all the time because I'm like, I analyze every single problem in my life. I'm at the gym. Someone's using the machine I want. That's my problem, right?
Yeah.
It's my problem. It's not them.
Yeah, sure.
It's not, oh, there's a fat guy in the gym. Why is he in the gym? That's complete bullshit. Yeah. Do you know the solution to that? Work hard enough, get enough money, and build your own fucking gym. Because the more you rely on society for anything, the worse off you are doing in your own life. When you get money, you start to rely on your own stuff more, right? Fucking flights.
Yeah.
Everyone's complaining that they're in the wrong seats.
Private jet.
So pay £50 more to reserve your seat before the flight. Get a business class seat. I'm uncomfy on this flight. There's a fat guy next to me. Fly business. Get a private jet. Own your own plane. There's always levels you can get. Of course, we're talking about big money, and there's never going to be a point, unless you're a billionaire, that you are extremely free from everything, because you still have to use the roads that are built by the government. You still have to, travel in accordance to the guidelines. But the more you can push up, and I hate to say this, but I relate a lot of my mindset to Tate. And I tell you why. Because he preaches such a strong message, he has to live by it. So sometimes in my life, I'm going, what would he do in this problem? Or how would he not have that problem? And 90% of the answer is, he owns his own gym. All right? So I'm in public sometimes, and if I'm not acting 100% perfect, I'm like, someone could take a picture of me. The reason that Tate can do whatever the fuck he wants is because he's in full control of his life. Yeah. So of course he does fruity stuff. Yeah. Of course he drinks alcohol when he says he doesn't drink alcohol. Of course there are times in his life where he oversleeps.
Yeah,
of course
he's human. He don't wake up at 6:59 every day.
Of course, but no one is there to document it, and he's got the proof to say to speak against it. So I always do this on podcasts. I come on and I say, I'm not going to mention Tay. I always
No.
but
you know what it is? The one thing about Tate is what he says is facts. And one thing I like about him, the one thing he always preaches about is work harder. That's it. If you listen to everything he says, as much as he speaks a load of random stuff half the time, moral of the story is work harder.
Yeah.
That's it. Work harder.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as I say, the difference is, and the difference I want to be is more relatable. He's not a relatable person because a lot of the stuff he says is actually what we'd call in this society a stretch. Yeah. I never sleep, you know.
How many push-ups did he do in prison? Like 4 million.
Right. Yeah. There's this, like the moral of the story is amazing, but realistically, if I'm coming on it to say, listen, get your sleeping pattern in order. Yeah. You know, I fuck up on my sleep schedule sometimes and I don't get to sleep on time. And I find myself scrolling on social media sometimes and I have to pattern myself up quickly. And I'm not always emotionally where I want to be. And sometimes I'm angry at someone and then I have to G-check myself and make sure I'm in the right mindset. Yeah, of course I'm not human. But as you said, it's always about striving for better and striving for more. And that comes with taking full accountability.
So let's put it like this now, yeah? I'm a newbie. I'm a new guy to chatting up girls. Let's just pretend you've met me on the street and I'm that guy with zero confidence. What other steps you take from meeting a girl and the woman to bagging her? Yeah? To waking up next to that girl. Talk me through the process that goes through. If you could create a guide for the newbie, what would you tell him before he approaches the girl? When he asks, should he ask for the Instagram first? Should he ask for a number first? What is the full process?
Yeah, there's a huge breakdown, so I'm going to go on like a 20-minute monologue and smash it down for you. It all starts with the no excuse mindset. The no excuse mindset is insanely imperative in terms of not allowing yourself to make excuses not to approach a girl. So once you've conquered that and you're actually on the approach, you're then looking at how can I get this girl to stop for me? Because one of the biggest problems in approaching a girl is actually getting her to stop on the first interaction. Usually, when you get her to stop, I mean, in my experience, once she's stopped, I have like a 99% win rate. But actually getting them to stop is much weaker because people have stuff to do. Yeah. And on that note, there's a realization that comes with the approach that if she rejects you, it might not be on you. She might have places to be. She might have a husband. She might be from Saudi. You know, whatever the reason is that she doesn't want to talk to you. It might be internal, or she might really hate her life and she might tell you to fuck off because she doesn't want to speak to everyone, right? These stuff happened. So once you've dealt with that and once you've understood the reality of approaching a girl.
So let's picture it now. He's walked up to her.
Cool.
He's finally got her to stop.
No, he hasn't.
Oh, he's not got to stop
yet.
He's
decided he's going to walk up to her.
So he's decided, he said to you, Diego, I'm going for it.
So you're going to walk up to her. You're going to try your very hardest to approach a girl from a 45-degree angle.
I watched that TikTok. Yeah.
Well, I didn't make one.
You did?
No.
You made the TikTok saying always approach from the front.
From the front, but not from a 45-degree angle.
What do you mean by 45-degree angle?
Okay. So you always approach from a 45-degree angle because it's a balance between coming side on and giving the girl too much space to ignore you and standing in front of her and blocking her personal space. And then you give her an ultimatum. And when you give a girl an ultimatum, which is, I'm being bombarded, do I run or do I... They always choose to run. Right, they always choose to run. When you entrap an animal, it's going to run, yeah? But when you tell it to come to you, then it's going to have more chance of coming to you. So always around, if you can, a 45-degree angle. Try and get her to notice you as soon as possible because then she has to make a conscious decision. As I say, when girls are deciding things unconsciously, she's going to choose security all the time, which is to walk away. So try and get her to notice you as soon as possible. Approach very fluently from that 45-degree angle. And then as you go into the conversation, you can then balance yourself out to more in front of her so she knows you're now invested in this interaction and we're talking. And then from then, the things you want to think about are energy, what you're going to say, and your body language.
So he's there. He's finally locked it in. He's in front of her. Hi, babe. What'd you say? He's frozen now. Now he's thinking, Diego, come and help me quick. I need help. What do you do?
I'm a great wingman, but the truth is that the truth is a better wingman. The best thing you can do is understand that what you say is not as important. It's one of the biggest misconceptions we have and one of the biggest questions I get asked. Diego, when I approach a girl, what do I say? Don't worry so much about what you say and focus all on your energy and you will say something great. And I say to guys, there are these 3 steps that will get you through a 10-minute interaction with a girl. What's your name? Where are you from? What do you do? These 3 completely basic and underrated questions are the guideline. And within them, you have a 10-minute conversation.
Yeah.
Because when you ask her, where are you from? And she tells you, Ukraine. You don't say, oh, that's cool. What do you do? You talk about the subject that she's provided to you, because you're going to prove in her reply to Ukraine that you're knowledgeable. You know what Ukraine is. You know where it is. You know a fact about the country. You have a question to ask about the country. That's the best thing, right? I've traveled a lot. I've never been to Ukraine. If I was going to Ukraine, where's the best place to go? She's talking about her own country. Of course she's going to be excited to talk about it, right? I've probably chosen a bad country to be excited to talk about. But in general, right, you're triggering a girl to actually invest in the conversation. Open-ended questions. Too many guys just get an answer and go, oh, where are you from? Oh, that's nice. Oh, where are you from? I'm from here. Invest in the conversation, and that will come so naturally with your energy. Of course, there are things you can do in terms of communication skills, but when your energy is top, you will only ever have too much to say. Man, you've invited me twice here to just sit here and talk for 10 years. Yeah, more than anyone. Of a guy like energy, I can monologue for hours and hours.
Guys, have you been thinking of move to Dubai? I've partnered up with Cranbrook Legal to make your experience so much easier. Literally, I got the main man from Cranbrook Legal right now to tell you how easy it is.
Guys, it's as simple as picking up the phone, giving us a call, and letting us get on with the business.
What, literally, one phone call?
Literally one phone call, a few documents, and we're there.
And then I just get up, fly to Dubai, and I ain't got to pay tax no more?
Yeah, you can come and see us. We'll take you out for a meal, show you Dubai, and then it's all up to you after that.
Bro, where do I sign now? That's why I enjoy doing podcasts with you, because I don't need to do much. It's the best thing ever. I just let you do it all.
Just use me. Literally 2 questions. You could ask me 3 questions and we can have an hour podcast.
That's the best bit about it. But that's why you're doing well. And that's why you're the expert in that field, I suppose. But
go on.
No.
Say two piece.
No, but I respect it. I respect what you say. Every point you've given,
you're going to get some,
I've not battled none of your points.
You're going to get some.
I've not battled none of them.
You're going to get some.
Do your thing.
You're going to get some. But, I'll make sure of it. I'll see to it personally. You're going to get
listen,
some.
Let's talk about now when a guy's, because the number one problem guys have is, do I ask for a number? Oh, is it too soon? Do I ask for an Insta? What do you reckon? What's the first thing? Is number too personal?
Yeah, great question.
You wrote the question for me. That's why it's good, bro.
Huh?
You wrote it for me.
Who? You thought you had my number? Are you talking to my PA, mate? Only girls get my number.
Go on, tell me.
Nah, I'm joking. For the reference, Mikey has my personal number. And it's,
my bro, answer the question.
And for any beautiful girls, it's 078. No, I'm joking.
Listen, genuine question though. Number or Instagram? What's the go-to?
There's no go-to. It depends on the situation. If you're more invested in a conversation with a girl and she's providing really good energy and she's being very open and interactive with you, you have more leverage to ask for a number. You need to know that asking for a number could very easily end in number. I don't give my number to guys. And you need to know how to handle that. Oh, that's all right. Do you know what? I just don't use Instagram that much, but I can take your Instagram. It's knowing that, calmness to deal with situations, because a calm and composed man, as we said before, is often a confident man and often a man who knows how to deal with this stuff. Instagram is safer for sure, because who doesn't have an Instagram? So if you're looking for results, if you're looking for success, if you're looking for something just to text her, you can take her Instagram. The problem with me is when I give girls my Instagram, they see me talking to 500 girls and their next message to me is, please don't post that anywhere. So I go for the number.
You film loads of videos, right? You film loads of videos. Loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of videos.
You saw my recent video?
I've seen all your videos. You're on my For You page every single day. But what is the biggest misconception with all your videos? There must be one thing that is just always there.
I think the biggest misconception of my specific videos is that 2 things. One, that I get every girl I talk to ever. There's a lot of rejection involved and a lot of character building. And I can happily say over the years I've learned to minimize the numbers game that we play, and that's what a lot of it is. Yeah, you approach 100 girls, one of them's going to give you their Instagram, even if they just want to tell you to fuck off, so they're going to give you their Instagram. So then you get better and you get practice, and then you approach 100 and then 3 do, and then eventually you're getting 100 girls and you're 50 of them are interacting with you. You're never going to get to that 100 one, no matter who you are, because girls would love the opportunity to reject, Snoop Dogg or flipping Michael Jordan or whoever they want to.
Definitely.
Right. So it's playing the numbers game and having as much experience as you can to deal with the situation at hand. Another huge big misconception that guys come and ask me a lot is, bro, like, you actually sleep with all these girls? No.
Just
Why are you smiling?
Just 99.9%.
No, just most of them. No, I don't have time. Like, imagine every girl I did.
Yeah, it'd be a long day.
And with me, there's two things. One, my intentions are in, good places with girls. I've actually said I've done my fair share of like messing around, and I'd love the idea of settling down with someone and having a meaningful relationship. I think that can provide more value to my life than anything else. However, I don't have time. Like, the one thing I'm telling these guys to do is, yes, invest time into communication skills, into talking to girls when and when it's convenient, but don't go out of your way and spend all of your life just focusing on girls, because the rest of your life's going to deteriorate, and there's work to be done.
So you just said to me, you're looking for a meaningful relationship. In your line of work...
Yeah, it's when two people like each other, Mikey.
No, I respect it, yeah.
No, I'm just letting you know what a meaningful relationship is.
I know exactly what it means, but in your line of work, yeah, you scroll through your Instagram, and let's be real, 99% of women are going to look at it and think, dog, player, playboy, da-da-da, stay away from him, don't let him speak to your friend. Is it hard for you to get a girl? And don't just say to me, no, it's not, da-da, but genuinely, truthfully, like, I've had it. Just because people see a few followers. You got way more than me, but straight away they're like, oh, no, he's too bait for me. And your whole thing is, I talk to girls. How is a girl going to trust you?
I've been on first dates with girls, and they've been telling me, like, where's the camera? Like, is there a camera here? I don't want to go on a date with you. Like, are you going to film? Are you going to bring a camera? So it's very hard. Oh, it's insanely hard. It's insanely hard because not only do I have that issue, I have the ulterior motive issue, yeah? You have the issue of a girl being too quality to want a man that can be accessed by everyone, and then you have girls that are trash enough to just use me to be in content, or vice versa. So I'm finding it very hard to find a balance. To answer your question, if people could understand more about what I'm actually doing, as opposed to being out on the street talking to all these girls, as opposed to being out on the street trying to teach as many guys that there is still possibilities to do the stuff that you are scared to do. And that's all my message is, that everything you don't want to do, everything that needs to be done as men that we don't do anymore, still needs to get done, and you need to find a way to do it. And that often starts with self-development. And that's why I'm, dedicating literally my whole life now to teaching guys how to understand themselves better, to be able to achieve what they want to achieve and take action on their lives. It's hard. It's not a great situation I'm in, but life has consequences to actions, right? So you and I have to live with them as people who have purposely put our faces on Instagram. No one had a gun to our head when we decided to make podcast shows or go on the street chatting to girls.
Definitely. But with you've done it all. You've put your face out there. You've spoke to, like you said, hundreds of women. What is it you look for when you're looking in a relationship now? When you're looking to find the one? You spoke to loads of women. Loads and loads and loads. We can both say you probably spoke to more women than all of us in this room. Truthfully, you do. You do it every day. It's what you do for a living. How do you look at the woman and say, okay, she's the one? Do women impress you anymore?
Yeah. I tell you what, when you understand your own self-respect, it's going to be harder. And this is what a lot of guys are scared of. Like, if I actually am honest with myself and I ask myself what I want in a girl, that slims my chances of getting a girl right down. Unfortunately, as a man, one of the things that you should never ever do is cross and play with your integrity and your moral compass. It's so important. And when looking for a partner and when speaking to a girl, that is the thing you're looking at the most. Does this girl align with my values? Or do I see a pair of fake tits and my rule about not having a smoking girl goes out the window? I'm guilty of it. I'm super guilty of it.
I love fake
and
tits.
It's how I wasn't talking about the fake tits. I was talking about generally.
Oh.
This is how I had my first and my biggest failed relationship, because I was insanely love blinded and allowed myself to be ruined because she was extremely beautiful. She was extremely lovable, passionate, Latin, and amazing face value. But every single moral compass I ever had in my life, she crossed. And I, for some reason, allowed that to deteriorate just because, the sex was good and the energy was good and it was a fun time. But when push comes to shove and black comes to white, you need to, look at the longevity of it. And as a man, self-respect is everything, because without self-respect, you are not a man. You need to stick to your word. You need to have integrity. So when you're looking for a girl, make sure you're looking for the healthy things that align with your values. Does she work out? Does she care about her body? Does she smoke? Does she go out clubbing? Because a lot of guys, what they're doing now is finding a girl that goes clubbing, meeting her at a club. Yeah. Guys that meet girls at clubs and then think they can bag. I'm like, bro, if you meet your girl at a club, it's game
done.
Over,
She's
right?
done.
Because not only did she meet you at a club, but she let you talk to her. It wasn't like she was going to the club and being innocent. And if she let you do that, then she's let other guys to do it before, right? So it's about where are you meeting these girls. And that's why it's so important for a man to put yourself in good environments, be in the gym, be in good spaces. What was the beauty of approaching a girl in the grocery section of a supermarket where she's buying fruit and veg like a good, beautiful princess, shopping for her fucking avocados and chili flakes on toast and going at home on her own and cooking some. That's the kind of girls you want. So when you're out in these clubs looking for girls or out at these bars, I'm trying to find a wife, it's not sustainable. Yes, your chances narrow down, but that's when as a man you have to be completely okay with yourself and with who you are as a person, not to rush into something that can be one of the most important decisions in your life.
That takes me on to my next question. Why are so many relationships splitting up right now?
Women, no, I'm joking. I'm joking. It's not actually. It's completely the fault and accountability of men. I think that men are responsible for absolutely everything. I think that's the way it's been from the start of time to now. And that's the biggest difference. Men were insanely strong before, and they had to be strong before, and we had a thriving society, even though we had a lot of problems. The society was generally always improving to the state we are now. This is the first time in society where we've physically been declining in the success of every single aspect of society. So, we now have that going on, and the fault of it is men are extremely insecure, and we're, struggling to be strong to run a country the way it should be and to run a society the way it should be. And this is where it starts, bro. It starts with a few girls asking a few questions about, can I chop my dick off? Can I change sexes? Can I, can I be a man in my nature? Can I have a vagina but produce sperm? Whatever the dynamic is that they're trying to portray.
Fucked.
But the problem isn't them. That's always been the minority. The problem is the majority allowing that to happen and being completely brainwashed by this reverse roles of life where women suddenly contain all the characteristics of men and men need to contain all the characteristics of women, which are we need to accept everything told to us, Imagine we're now in a society where someone can not only tell me that and say that they are able to, as a fully functioning man, produce eggs from their ovary. I'm not even allowed to argue with them.
It's fucked.
So it's not like there's freedom of speech both ways and everyone's allowed to do what they want, because that's what they'll argue, It's their body, let them do what they want, let them say what they want, let them think what they want. But I can't say what I want, and I can't think what I want, and I can't do what I want. It's only the people that are fighting against it. And society wants that, because the only thing powerful enough to stop a society from having full control is a bunch of working class, hardworking, meaningless men. A big group of them. And I'm talking about an army.
Yeah.
Right? Now we don't have that, because our army are too busy deciding what sex they want to be.
Yeah, it's fucked.
That they're not actually brave enough to stand in front and go, you are wrong. You are wrong for wanting to change the dynamics of a system that's been working incredibly well for a long time. You are wrong for, lying and brainwashing kids. And I'm not only talking about sexes, by the way. This is just a great example of the mass proportion. I'm talking about every single piece of information that's been provided by the news is manipulated. It's completely, prescribed by the government to
They're creating whatever they want.
Exactly
they're
what they
pushing
want.
it the way they want it as well.
But now we just have a system where they can push what they want, and we just say, yeah, that's the case.
Yeah. We can't answer back. We can't say anything. We can't. Society in that aspect of life, in that system, I don't talk on it too much because they just silence you. They silence you. They do everything possible to silence you, and not to bring him up again. But Tate was a prime example. When he started touching on it, they locked him off everywhere.
I think there's a difference, right? When you speak with a logic, you can get through to people. When you just speak with a motive, people are less inclined to listen, and that's why I think it's important that we're actually empathetic with people who have been brainwashed. Because, and I'm not coming on some Matrix shit, right?
Yeah, of course not.
I'm not even wealthy enough as a man to compare myself to the Matrix in any way. So I don't want to do that. I'm still a very fully functioning member of society. I just have the strength to admit where morals cross logic. Because let's be honest, logic is always the best way. Where logic is involved, you usually have the best results. So where someone's just shouting on the screen going, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, and I'm actually saying, wait a minute, ask yourself, when was the last time that you questioned something? Right? Because now we're in a society, And someone said it the other day. I saw a post of a Arabic man. I think he was from the UAE, and he was talking about taxes. Right? He said taxes don't make sense to me. We pay 50% taxes. We pay 40% taxes depending on how much money we earn. I pay 50. And through them taxes, we're paying for what? Because these roads are filled with potholes.
Bro, don't talk to me.
I'm still queuing to get, an appointment in the hospital.
Yeah.
These police aren't protecting us. We're very unsafe in this society. So what am I actually paying for, right? Instead of just paying the taxes, when are we going to question why we're doing it? And it's the same with everything. When are we going to start asking the question why? It's an extremely powerful question. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I voting for who I'm voting for? Why are they saying what they're saying? Why does Putin love to advocate for Joe Biden when that's his enemy instead of
the opposite?
Instead of actually saying the truth, which is, Trump's so much better and America in the hands of Trump is so much better for America and for the whole world, more importantly, than your enemy. Imagine like me going to fight someone and I was like, yeah, that midget is a pretty good opponent. I think he's going to be strong against me. Yeah, I think he's a really good guy. Yeah, and I'm just going to knee him in the head during a boxing fight, right? I'm not going to look at Mike Tyson and go, yeah, that guy's a really good fighter. We're on a good level. I want him to get in the use your brain.
We're going to touch on boxing in a minute. Don't worry about that. Don't think you made me forget that. Man. You asked me to write questions. I wrote some. Don't worry. But look, I got questions for you then. We've spoken a lot about how a man approaches a woman, what he should look for in a female. But we've not touched on what a woman should look for in a man. What attributes should a woman be looking for in a man?
To all my lovely ladies out here. Diego on Instagram. Dog.
Sorry, I had a cough.
Emotional control and stability is everything. A man that has emotional control, a man that never gets angry, a man that's always incredibly passive with his emotions, not with life, aggressive with life, but passive with his emotions, is a man who has his shit together. Because the truth is everyone has emotions and everyone's angry at points and everyone's upset and happy and excited in different moments of their life. But it's how you deal with that is a testament to your character. So a man that has full emotional control is incredibly attractive to a woman. A man that has his life together, because a man's life is all over the place. Girls want the adventure and they want this. But actually assess a man's life, because a man's life is the best representation of his character. How much his life is together, how much he's got his shit figured out, and what he's doing. Assess him for: does he drink? Does he smoke? Does he waste his time playing video games? What does he actually do with his life, and how healthy is he, and how happy is he as a person? And that will tell you the best representation of how good of a partner he's going to be for you.
Well, women, I hope you heard that. Guys watching it, I hope you heard all of that. Now, Diego's turn. Diego, recently we've been hearing you talk a lot about your breakup. What's happened? You back in love? You trying to go back?
It's funny because I thought the best thing for me to do was never talk about it. I wouldn't say I was embarrassed. I'm not the kind of guy to be embarrassed or ashamed of something, but I didn't know the strength it would bring to other people and the knowledge it would bring to other people. I also didn't know how big of a problem with it. Like in society, it's a huge problem. And the amounts of messages I get is insane. It's now my biggest message. Every single DM is, bro, I'm going through a breakup. I've been with this girl for 10 years. We have 2 kids together, blah, blah, blah. What do I do? And the answer is always the same, right? Yes, there's variations of how you can attack it, but the answer is always self-development. As a human being, self-development, as a man more than anything, is the biggest testament to the action that you're going to take. My breakup was terrible. So similar to what I told you before, I did no due diligence. I did no homework. I allowed myself to emotionally invest in something with full fluidity. And unfortunately, as fun as fluidity is, it doesn't provide security, it doesn't provide longevity, it doesn't provide happiness, essentially. It provides momentary happiness, but as we know, everything short-term sacrificed is usually for a long-term success, and vice versa. Everything short-term that's amazing, in the long-term usually doesn't last. So I was completely illogical in my relationship, which a lot of guys are guilty of, and it's okay. The first thing you need to know is it's completely okay to fuck up a relationship. It's completely okay to finish a relationship and feel empty and feel broken. And I'm going to say the most cliche message ever, which is it is going to get better and it is going to be okay. Definitely. And I think coming out of a relationship off the bat like that, we don't actually understand that. I certainly didn't. In the day after, the 2 days after, the week after, I genuinely thought my world was gonna fall apart. And man, I love this girl insane amounts. It was emotionally draining. It killed me. I allowed her to fill up such a big part and place in my life. And once again, I had incredible amounts of love. So coming out of that, there's this massive hole in my heart, in my belly, in my head, and in my life, more importantly. So, how do you repair a hole? You fill it up. What you fill it up with will determine the kind of man you're going to be. Whether you fill it up with burying yourself in alcohol, going fucking loads of prostitutes, looking for meaningless relationships and meaningless sex, or saying, do you know what? I've invested so much time and energy into a girl, so I have no problem investing time and energy. It's just into what I choose. So if I invest that same energy now, as hard as it's going to be, into my body, into my mind, into my work, and making sure every aspect of my life as a man is amazing, you can only use it as power. And even in the darkest situations, even in the shittest breakups, losses of loved ones, you can use it as power and fuel to become a better man and a better human. And that's the message people need to hear.
Breaking up now is a very, very big thing for males and females. A lot of them are broken to pieces. Some of them last a week and they move on. Some last a year and then they find themselves and they move on. If you could give a bit of advice to people out there who have just come out of a breakup, because I'm sure there's many, like Marbella season starting, so they're splitting up and all that. But what would be a bit of advice you would give to these people who are splitting up? I saw you posted. I'll let you answer the question in a second. You posted a question. One of your community said, Diego, she was my everything. And you replied back saying, she's not your everything anymore. As a man who's just split up with his everything, hearing that from you, you're his, in some aspect, coach. That probably broke his heart. Do you think people need to be told the truth?
Ironic. People always need to be told the truth. The truth is the only way a problem can really get solved properly. It's like a pothole. You can put a piece of paper over a pothole and you won't see it anymore. But unless you fill that pothole properly, to an extent where it's not going to cause any more problems and it's not going to cause any more damage, it's the only way that can actually be repaired. And not only repaired, but repaired to a way where you're able to now function normally again, which means cars are able to drive over it, and life gets back to normal. Yes, there's an element of truth to it, which is you need to move the fuck on. Because every second you are spending on her is wasted energy. So it starts with this, and this is one of the steps that people struggle to do so much. I have close friends that have really struggled to do this. Get rid of everything you have associating to this girl. Delete every single picture on your phone, throw your stuff out, and really take the first step to moving on, which is knowing that you're not getting back with her. And by the way, in any instance you break up with a girl, even if she lets you back, because let's be honest, 90% of the time it's the girl that decides to break up, you're not getting back with her. Yeah. Any respect within that relationship has been lost through the breakup. It's just going to bring up repetitive problems. So the minute breaking up even comes into conversation, that girl is not your girl anymore, and you can consider it done. So as soon as that moment hits, you need to start to move on with your life, which means you need to let the past be in the past. And I said that one of the biggest steps is knowing that everything's going to be okay, because if I know everything's going to be okay and I know that I actually have a future in this world without her, then I start looking at my future and see how can I actually develop that future to be good for me. And instead of wasting all my time and energy crying about this girl, dedicate 5 minutes a day to get all your tears out. Go in a room, shut the door, cry. As a man, not in front of anyone else, not so all your friends and your mum and everyone can see. Just shut a door, cry for 5 minutes. Put a fucking timer on it if you have to. Yeah. And then after that 5 minutes, wipe your fucking eyes and go and attack life. Go and attack life with every ounce of pain that she's caused you. Go and attack life with every single lesson that she's shown you. And every piece of the puzzle you have, go and just put it on the floor and start to put the pieces together.
Listen, I think that's the best advice I've heard. It's the best advice I would give anyone as well. There's many girls who have coincidentally phoned me once they've split up and they're like, Mikey, what do I do? How do I get over it? Just get over it. Like, you're not going to... These women especially, when a guy cheats on them or leaves them, they're broken. and they're like, oh, he was my everything. How do I leave? Da, 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 da. Bro, just get on with your life. Your life's not over. Just keep it moving. But I think as men who have that kind of thing, we can just get up and keep it moving. Some of these women and some of these men, they struggle to. They struggle bad as well.
Yeah, I think men will struggle more than you think. You know, for everyone, it's an emotional wreck. You know, of course it is. As we said, you've allowed that person to be a part of your energy, and you just ripped something away from you. And this is one of the biggest messages. It's not meant to be easy, and it doesn't have to be easy. Everyone's like, bro, what's the easy way out of this? There is none.
Yeah.
Embrace the pain and use the pain for your fire. But more than anything, don't waste 2 weeks of your life going, right, how am I going to get her back? Are we going to get back together? Because that's what a lot of people do. You know, girls will call you, Mikey, like, this guy split up with me. Man, I fucked up. How do I get him back? Just forget it.
It's done.
Forget it. I don't care how much you love them, because I hate to break this to everyone out here, but Cinderella, Snow White, these things aren't real. It's a cartoon produced by Disney for 4-year-old kids. Hollywood doesn't actually exist in real life. Will Smith is not actually, you know, a person who goes around making every single beautiful love story, and it doesn't exist. Yeah. I'm telling you, American movies are dangerous for society. Even me, they gave my perception on a lot of things the complete wrong way, and love fantasies aren't a thing. It's just about reality, value, happiness, and purposefulness, and in this instant, moving the fuck on.
No, bro, and I think that's probably the best way to wrap this episode up, to be fair with you. I think we've touched on every single point we've wanted to touch on, apart from one thing, which is, Diego, who are you fighting?
I was very passive in the way that I've attacked these questions.
Diego, who are you fighting?
There's no name that's been confirmed, but there are a few people out there ducking certain messages, and you know, people that I don't think they're ready to fight.
Diego, who do you want to fight?
You've heard of J200?
Yeah, I know J200.
There's been messages exchanged, and
do you reckon you'd knock him out?
I mean, I wouldn't go into a fight with someone who I wouldn't intend to knock out. I'm an athlete. I'm fast, and I'm dangerous. He's a fashion man who's fat and ugly, but generally speaking, yeah, I wouldn't go into a fight with someone who I didn't have intentions to knock out. But as I say, 100%. People want to duck messages and be nervous and whatever. But I'd love that fight. I think it'll be entertaining. But generally speaking, I'd love for people to throw some slurs at me and get my blood boiling, because I don't know many people. I know there's loads of people wanting to fight.
Yeah.
But I don't know anyone who's actively like going mad about on the internet. You know, my name's out there for anyone who wants to throw a stupid thing. I'm a very easy guy to hate because I'm probably fucking your girlfriend. So, you know, hate me.
Guys, listen, if you want to get in touch with Diego and join the Truth community, get in touch with him. Links in the bio. Pleasure having you on my show, bro. Thank you again. We'll see you on the next one.
See you in round 3.